It is so good to be back. It is so good to be back. I'm gonna say it twice because it really is. We got a great guest today. One of my fellow alums from Texas Southern University that went off and made a name for himself. And I'm gonna give you a clue. I'm not gonna give you his name until we fan in on him with the camera and let you know who he is. But he was one of the Sweat Hogs. And so for all of my football fans from back in the day will know exactly who I'm referring to. So, but we want to first, before we get started, we want to make sure that you do as we always ask you, hit that like button, subscribe, and smash that bell so every time a show comes on, a new show comes on, you'll be notified. We appreciate everyone watching the show. Down below, write a comment and let me know what you think about today's show, what you think about today's guest. And also, I want to go ahead and announce to you people also that we have chosen who the guest hosts are going to be for my next show. You know, we had a contest on for you to enter and see if you wanted to be a guest host. So we're going to have 2 guest hosts on for the next show. And they're good friends and faithful watchers of the show. And I just want to throw something out also. I got a lot of people that have subscribed and looked at the show, and they tell me sometimes, oh man, I forgot to look. This is why it's important that you smash that bell so you'll automatically be notified when a new show comes out. So we want to keep the momentum going on the number of people watching the show and the subscribers. Today is April the 25th, Thursday here in Houston, Texas, H-Town. A little gloomy right now, but they say the sun is going to be out, so we're hoping that wherever you are, you're having a good day also. Mr. Womack is the broker and president and CEO of Womack Development Investment Realtors, a private minority-owned full-service commercial and residential real estate brokerage firm. Over the years, he has been known to be a respected community businessman and partner and has received many awards. Now, he sells real estate everywhere, but his specialty is right here in 3rd Ward. This guy can get it taken care of for you. So without further ado, what we're going to do is go to our guest that we're having today that I'm so happy to have here, Mr. Fred Dean. Mr. Dean, it's so good to have you on the show today, my man.
And it's so good to be here.
All right, we appreciate that. Now, what we're going to want the listener audience to know is first of all, take us through your journey. As I've told you all, and as you can see, he is a TSU alum. So take us from your journey from where you started at, where you came from, and where you started at playing high school ball and how you matriculated to Texas Southern.
Well, first, I'm from Gainesville, Florida. I played at Gainesville High School. I started there at tight end. I came to Texas Southern as a tight end.
As a tight end.
But they changed me to offensive guard. From offensive guard, I played offensive tackle here. And it was really great. The years I was here from 77, to 82.
Okay.
Okay. And by being here during that time, I have a lot of good friends that's here. And I always wanted to come back to Houston. I was at Howard University now for 25 years. I was a football coach.
Oh, really?
And I was a dorm director.
Okay.
And I had about 200 students at that particular time in my hall and cook hall at Howard University in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So I've been at 2 HBCU schools. And that's in my heart.
I got you.
But I always wanted to come back home.
Okay.
So I always come back home to Texas Southern. I call it home. This is where I first started. This is where I first got my roots.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a pleasure to be here.
Let me ask you another question. Name some of the players that were here that you played with. Because family reason why I'm asking that is back in the day, we had NFL players going every year out of Texas Southern. And he's going to give you some of the players who were here when he first got here and was here when he was leaving.
Well, the first player that was here, he was leaving when I was coming here. His name was Michael Holmes.
Okay.
And we called him Rookie.
Right.
Okay. So that was one of the first young men that I met when I came on my visit. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to TSU. Another guy named was Melvin Baker.
Clyde.
Okay. Now they call him Clyde the Glide Baker. All right. Another young man was Canary Simmons.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now Canary and his brother Al Simmons, you know, they're from Jacksonville, Florida, and so I'm from Gainesville. So we made this bond, along with a young man that was my best friend and still is, Keith Brinson.
Okay.
And another young man named Juan Walton. So me and Juan came from Gainesville.
Okay.
Okay, and we connected with all the young men from Florida at that particular time. You know, we had about 30-some guys from the state of Florida on Texas Southern football team.
For real.
So I felt like home, and this is where I wanted to be. And at the present time, you know, it's a group of us right now that, you know, we put on this thing with family reunion, TSU Tigers family reunion.
Okay.
And we're going to be putting on another big dinner this year.
Okay.
On October the 4th, here in Houston, Texas. You know, we're going to find out what's the big hotel we're going to have, because it's going to be relating to the Hall of Fame this year.
Okay. Now I want you to slow down and let the listening audience know again what's going to be happening on October the 4th. This is around homecoming, family.
We're going to be having a big dinner that we're going to invite all the TSU Tigers, like fellow athletes. Don't care what sports you are, okay? Everybody is welcome here. And we're going to be having that this homecoming, and it's going to be including the Hall of Fame. And we're having 24 inductees going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Okay. Okay. I was told that today, family. We're going to do a little talking off camera, and after he speaks a little long, I'm going to go in and tell you some of the names of the people that are going to be inducted to the TSU Hall of Fame. But also, now, when they said that convert to offensive lineman from tight end, this tells me a lot about your personality. A lot of kids don't want to change from, they thinking they the best in this and they best in that. But family, I want you to know that change and his state of mind to accept that got him to play with who? Who did you play with in the NFL?
Well, some of the guys I played with, and we had a great offensive line, I'm going to be honest with you. One of the guys is in the NFL Hall of Fame. His name is Russ Grimm.
Right.
I played along with Russ Grimm. I played along with a young man named Jeff Bostic.
Okay. Remember him.
And George Starr. Now, I played on the right side. Me and George was on the right side. Bostic was center. Grimm was the left guard, and Joe Jacoby was our left
Is
tackle.
that the guy that was 66 by 6'6" or something like that?
We call him Highway 66. Okay,
Why was that?
because he cleaned out people. Okay, and so, you know, and all of us had little nicknames.
Okay.
Okay. And,
What was yours?
Mean Dean. They called me Mean Dean. You know, we really played with an attitude.
Right.
You know, and we was real good. I'll be honest with you about it. You know, we ran the football. We had a great running back in John Riggins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we had
Stop.
a
Stop. I hate to interrupt you, but this is for my cousin. He is a die-hard Redskin fan. I let him know that I was going to have one of his hogs on today, and he said, man, please ask him, how was John Riggins? What kind of player and what type of person was he on the field and off the field? Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Well, John was a kind of guy that he drank this little beer, okay, but he was a hard runner.
Okay.
All right. John Riggins, a lot of folks didn't realize he was 250 pounds. Okay. So when he ran up in there, he was tight. Okay. But we had a scat back in Joe Washington.
Uh-huh.
All right. And Joe is from this area.
Mm-hmm.
But when we want to get some yards, we ran with John Riggins. Okay. And we had a play called 40 and 50 gut, 60, 70 outside. That just let us just pound the football. And we knew it would be tough. If we hanging on you and John coming through there at 250 pounds, you just wasn't going to tackle him very, very easy. Not at all.
Uh-huh.
And we had a great running game.
Yeah.
You know, the offensive line coach was Joe Beagle.
Oh, okay.
And Joe Beagle was here in Houston.
Sure was.
During the Earl Campbell days.
He sure was.
So everybody ought to know about
That
Earl
dude
Campbell.
sure was.
So he was straight with the running game.
You said something just a moment ago. Y'all had nicknames. Family, most of the time in the NFL, you get nicknames from defensive linemen. But they were one of the first. The offensive line had notoriety. And they were the Hogs and John Madden. That's who I was trying to think. John Madden loved the Hogs, man. Did you ever talk to him personally?
I talked with John on several different occasions about that. And how we got that nickname, it was storming and raining one day in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And so everybody was trying to wonder whether we were going to practice or not. And then our offensive line said, all right, you Hogs, let's go. And the name just stuck with us. You know, and he said, hey, we going down here in the pen, and we're going to do one-on-one, so total defensive line, come on. And everybody else put on their gear. And we went outside, and the name Hall just stuck with us.
It definitely stuck. Y'all had notoriety. People, y'all were on magazine covers, newspapers.
Yes.
And what you did was y'all glamorized offensive linemen.
Yes, we did, and it was real good. And you know what? And if you think about it, everybody would have them little Hall things that we put on their faces in the stadium.
Yeah.
And man, it just
did that fire y'all up?
It fired us up. Because we always led the team out.
Right.
We came out first.
The offensive lineman?
Offensive line came out first. We come out first, and once we come out, everybody knew.
Yeah.
And they say, love them Hogs.
Yeah.
And I have pictures all over my house about the Hogs.
Now, there was a brother that was one of the top fans at the Redskins, and I'm going to talk, we had the Indian bonnet on. Did you ever meet him?
I met him on several different occasions.
What was his name? Or can you remember?
I can't remember his name at the moment right now.
But he was always
out. He was
Diesel,
always there.
that
Diesel. And boy, he be cranking up that Diesel, and that just got us going. And you know, he would meet us in the tunnel. And they would start us out, and then here we come. Yeah. And then the rest of the team came behind us.
Yeah. I'm telling you, y'all glamorized the offensive linemen. Y'all definitely did that. But the other thing I want to ask you about is nicknames. Okay, now, you were Fred the Mean?
Well, my name is Fred Dean.
Right.
Everybody just started calling me Mean Dean because once I got on you, I didn't let you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to drive you in the turf.
Right.
And you know, and that's what. And we had the other guy beside me. His name was George Stark. We called him Papa Hog because he was the oldest one.
What?
Yeah, we called him Papa Hog. So everybody, Papa Hog. Okay, because you know he was about 6-7 years older than we were.
Okay.
So he was the oldest lineman.
Who was your center?
Huh?
Who was your center?
Jeff Boston.
Yes.
And we called him Piglet.
What?
Yeah, because Jeff they thought he was undersized, but Jeff was so quick in what he do, and once he got on you, he didn't let you go. All right? So Jeff was the one that bought that all-out signals. He called out everything on the offensive line. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then I already told you about Joe Jacoby, and we called him Highway 66.
Okay.
Now, Jacoby was about 6'8". One thing a lot of people don't know about Jacoby, he played basketball.
What?
He did not play college football. No, he did not. Jacoby was a basketball player. All right? He came out. He just came out as a free agent. All right? With the Redskins. And when he got to learn the position, he was nasty, man.
You know, that is so different because you hear about basketball players coming out, might be a DB or tight end. But to get off in those trenches, man, you got to be a man to get off in them trenches. I mean,
when you about 6'8", 6'9", 300 pounds. Now at that time, it wasn't a whole lot of 300 pounds linemen in the NFL at that time. Right. So he was kind of one of the first ones.
And athletic with it too, I bet.
Very athletic. Yeah. Okay. So we ran a lot of pulling plays. We ran a lot of counter trades.
Right.
So he was on that. Mm-hmm. Him and Russ Grimm. Now, Russ Grimm was drafted in the 3rd round from the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So he was our high draft choice
on
the offensive line at the time. But Jacoby was a free agent. Stark was a free agent. I was a free agent. And Jeff Bostic was a free agent. You have 4 free agents on that offensive line.
Okay.
That became real great.
Man, that whole offensive line became great. Not just that. That whole offensive line became great. And what we're going to do is now we're going to shift into a couple of college questions I want to ask you. Family, one more time. He is a graduate of Texas Southern, as you can see. What do you think about our new hire at college, our college football coach at Texas Southern?
I really think Chris Dishman was a great hire, really truly.
Okay.
You know, he know the game, you know, and we needed someone that really know the game and know how to motivate young men. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think that Texas Southern was missing. Somebody that really motivate the young guys to play well.
Okay.
And with Chris Dishman coming in, I believe he's going to have the motivation to have the guys to play at a high level. And that's what we need here.
Yeah. I had him on the show, and he impressed me too. And have you had the opportunity to meet him?
I met him, I've been out to a couple of spring football practices.
Okay.
So I got a chance to meet him out there.
Okay.
You know, with this, I just wanted to go out and observe and see what they was doing. And I was impressed about what they was doing out on the football field. Right. And I think the people, if you come out this year, you're going to see a big difference in the Texas Southern football team.
Okay. Now, what impressed you that you saw specifically to say that?
How he was communicating with the young men.
Okay.
You know, it's the young men is different today, okay? And he was able to go back and know how to really communicate with the young men that he have out on the football field. And I was very impressed with what he was doing. And I knew right then, I was telling Mike Holmes, I say, he's going to be very good.
Okay. He just impressed you right off the top.
Right off the top.
Okay, that's a good thing. Now, family, I was talking to Dean just then, and some glitter and some sunlight went across my face there. And I asked him personally to bring this for me so that my cousin, once again, diehard Redskin, could see that Super Bowl ring. Can you get a shot in on that, man, and show that Super Bowl ring? Family, all this light sparkling you see is off of Mr. Dean's Super Bowl ring and his NFL ring. I wanted everybody to see what hard work. Did you hear what Mr. Dean said? Mr. Dean said he was a free agent. That means that you come to the team and tell the coach, I want to try to make this team. That doesn't put you on the depth chart number 1. You got to fight from the bottom to the top. And I want to give you your flowers right now, Mr. Dean, for doing that, man. That free agent is like, one more time, you got to have heart. And you said half y'all offensive line was free agents?
Everybody was free agent except Russ Grimm.
See, that shows that everybody was hungry. Everybody was hungry on the offensive line.
Yes, we were.
Everybody was hungry, man.
I had 3 guys that was drafted in front of me. I got all 3 of them cut.
Them other guys probably got the other guys cut too.
They did. They really did.
Ooh-wee.
You know, and I think everybody thought our coach was crazy, Joe Bugle, but he told them, he said, this is going to be a great offensive line. And he proved them right. Yeah. It was a great offensive line.
Y'all didn't prove them, just them in D.C. right. Y'all proved everybody right. Because the Hogs, man, the Skins, y'all had a nice little run there, man. 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, 4 years?
And we had 3 Super Bowls.
3 Super Bowls?
In 5 years.
That's a nice run.
Real nice run.
That's a nice run, 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. And y'all beat the beloved America's team. What is a game like that, man? I remember I saw a game, the Cowboys playing the Skins, and RFK, John Madden said it feels like the stadium is rocking, man, when they be jumping in RFK. How did you think about a game played in RFK?
It really be rocking, okay? The stadium, the fans get up on it, and, you know, and the stadium will actually be rocking. But it was nothing like to play there. I understand that. And the Cowboys,
when they came to town,
that was a rivalry.
Uh-huh.
Okay, We hated the Cowboys, and they hated us.
Right.
Okay.
Every Cowboy fan hate the Redskins.
We dominated them
Yes, y'all did.
during that time. So when a lot of times I talk to Cowboy fans now, because I go to Dallas quite a bit, but I let them know when we was playing, we dominated y'all. That's a fact.
Yeah.
If you think about how many Super Bowl we went and won during that span, we went through the Cowboys.
Yeah, you had to always go through them.
We came in Texas Stadium with an attitude that we're going to be more physical than you all, and y'all know it.
Yeah.
It was nothing y'all could do about it. Y'all wasn't going to stop us
Yeah.
at all.
Because they know what y'all was going to do. Y'all going to get the ball to Rigo. Y'all going to get the ball to
They
Rigo.
knew we were going to run, but I had some young men that was with me that I knew I'd get in the foxhole anytime with them. And we knew. We held each other accountable. Y'all, it's very special when you can look into the eye of the guy beside you and understand that, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
We're going to run the football right here, and you can't stop it.
Can't stop it.
And nobody could stop it, really, truly. And a lot of folks didn't realize we didn't have a 5 running plays. That was it.
Riggins left, Riggins right.
That's right.
Riggins up the middle.
And then we run 60, 70 outside. 5 running plays. But we can run them 5 running plays against any defense that you put up.
Yeah.
And we were very good at it.
I like y'all had that deceptive play where it used to be just a guard would pull. I think y'all was pulling a whole side of the whole offensive line side. Counter tray.
We block down, pull around.
Okay.
And all of us could run now.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
All of us could run. So it was called counter tray right, counter tray left. That's all it was.
Right.
It's very simple. You block down, come around. But we ran that play till the cows come home.
I know that's right.
And our offensive line coach, Joe Beaver, said we just going to have a few plays, but we're going to be able to run against anything that you put up there. That's all. And so when he made it so simple for us, we mastered it.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about.
Yeah.
You don't need 100 plays.
No.
All right? You don't want to get confused. We're going to run 5 plays.
Yeah.
But Joe Gibb was a master of disguising it, though.
Right.
He could disguise that play. But we run the same play.
Yeah.
Block down, go.
Now, Rigo, was he a practice player or was he just a game player?
Rigo was a game player, but I will tell you one thing about Rigo. He had this thing that he was strapped on his back every day.
That weight vest.
And he just run and run and run with that weight vest on, okay? So we didn't have to worry about him. We know he was going to be strong. When he came for John Riggins running, okay, we knew that. And like I said, he was 250 pounds. A lot of folks didn't realize that. A lot of folks didn't realize he wasn't 100 meters in the state of Kansas when he was a track runner.
Yeah.
See, a lot of folks didn't know he could run.
He could run.
They underestimated his speed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they underestimated his power.
Yeah.
Coming in. So
Well, they
he
may
was
have
a big
underestimated, but it probably about 1 year they underestimated because other than that, you didn't want to get in front of John Riggins.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
You didn't want to get in front of him. That's why that guy was calling him the Diesel. And he'd always be with, crank up the diesel. Crank up the diesel, man.
And that's what had RFK rocking. You got a big uplift when we played there. Yeah. Really, truly, it was a big uplift. We didn't lose many games at RFK Stadium. Right. That was something special.
Man, I when I'm talking about players that played at TSU, I talk about guys like you, man. You went there, no fanfare, and carved out a name and became famous with the Hogs, man. And woo-wee, man, that had to be a wonderful feeling for you when you made the team. And not only that, because what I'm doing is I'm going all the way back to TSU when you came on campus as a tight end. You had to first accept that because you got a lot of guys saying, man, I can play better than him at tight end, but you went there in offensive line and look where it got you.
Well, the thing about it, I think what happened with me at TSU and I'm gonna bring a young man name up. His name is Charles Filliard.
Yes, 6'9".
Okay. Now, I was playing tight end, and I'll never forget this. You know, Coach Page, he was my coach at the time. He said, "I want y'all to go one-on-one on the boards." I kept going one-on-one with Charles Filliard.
What?
And I could move that big sucker too. Because I always felt like if I get your hand pinned right here, I can move you.
Right.
So I always kept my hand, so when he brought his flipper, I was able to catch it and pin it to his chest.
Right.
So that way he didn't have the power.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if he caught you with it, you was hurt.
Oh, 6'9" was.
You was hurt.
And family, that was his actual height. That's why they called him 6'9". He went on to play with the Oakland Raiders and won a Super Bowl ring there with the Oakland Raiders. And so when you practice against something like that, that gets you ready.
Every day. Every day we had to end practice with me and him going on the boards.
And you know what? Now that you said that, if I'm an offensive lineman coach and I see you doing that, I'm going to say, well, man, wait a minute. I might can move him over to offensive line. Is that how it started, something like that?
That's what happened.
Yeah,
That's how I got moved to the
Big Hound
offensive
6'9", man.
That's how it happened. That's how they put me on the offensive line. They kept saying, "No, we need to move him inside." Yeah. And that's how they move me. I'm a team player.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and play. If they tell me to play on the offensive line, I'm gonna play on the offensive line. If you want me to play tight end, I'll play tight end. Something you might not know, Larry, I played tight end in the NFL as well.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yes, they did.
I didn't know that.
When I was with the Redskins, they put me at tight end a lot. All right? See, that's something.
Extra blocker. The
extra blocker. A lot of folks didn't realize that.
Right.
You know, and the coach came to me. He said, "You played tight end." I didn't know they knew that, but they did.
Right. Oh, man, they do their work.
I played a lot of tight end. When I first got there with the Redskins, okay, I was playing tight end.
I didn't know that.
Yes. They moved me to tight end. I played a lot of tight end with the Redskins. All right, I have about 5 or 6 catches that I caught.
They actually threw you the ball, Fred.
They threw me the ball, okay? And so it's just that you have to make adjustments. And I was the type of player that wherever you need me to be, that's where I'm going to play. Yeah. And that's what I liked about it.
That's champion.
And I give a lot of credit to Dr. Rod Page for that. Because when I came in here, I played tight end. Then he came and called me. He said, "We want to move you to the offensive line. Coaches, that's where you need me. That's where I play." I'm a team player.
I got you.
You know, so and so then I took advantage of that.
Yes,
and
you
then,
did.
And then something you might not know. Again, Dr. Page had this young man named Andy Rice. And I don't know if you remember Andy Rice.
Yes, Coach Rice.
Okay. Now, Coach Rice used to come out and work with me in the summertime.
What?
With being on the offensive line. He'd come out and work with me every day. Okay, Dean, we gonna go. And I have to be honest. At first, he used to wear me out.
Old guy. But he
Old
was
guy.
country strong.
Country strong. Old guy.
Country
And he
strong.
would say, "Dean, you ain't ready." And then, boy, after about a year, he was coming back because he was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, he was still playing then when you came
He was
out there?
playing for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
He come back, he say, "Dean, you ready?"
What?
He said, "Dean, you ready?" We used to work and work and work.
Oh, man,
I
I know
worked
that
with
pumped
Andy
you
Rice
up.
so much.
I know that pumped you up, man.
That pumped me up. And when he told me I was ready, that's when I knew. That's when I knew I could play on this offensive line. He said, "Dean, you ready to play?"
You probably also knew that you could go to the NFL. You playing
Yes.
against an NFL player
Yes.
because Coach Rice was no slouch.
That's right.
Coach Rice
And so a
in
lot
the
of
first
folks
Super
didn't-
Bowl. He was
That's
in the
right.
first Super Bowl.
So that helped me tremendously working with him during the summer, all the time. And he would come. He would come pull me out that door. "Dean, let's go." So that
Just you.
Just me.
Yeah.
"Dean, let's go." And I would work with him and work with him and work with him. And he was a reason why, I didn't mind switching to the offensive line.
Did you give him his flowers once you made it to the skin?
Yes, I did.
And I know he was proud of you, too.
I knew Andy Rice very well.
I knew he was proud of you, too.
I knew when he was working at Aldine High School.
Right.
Okay. And I always gave him the credit for getting me ready to play in the NFL.
Yeah. That is wonderful, man. That is wonderful because Coach Rice was, he was something else.
Yes,
he was something else. I had some guys that played back in that era. They like, man, Coach Rice was just, he's from the country, and they say he was country strong.
He was strong. And that's what caused me to get in that weight room.
Right.
Okay? And that's when he would tell me about that weight room. Dean, you need to be in that weight room. And Dr. Page is the one that introduced me to Andy Rice out there on that field. He said, you need to work with him.
See what I'm saying? You got some kids don't take advice like that. Don't take
Well, Dr. Page was my coach. I wanted to play in the NFL. I knew Andy Rice was a great defensive tackle.
Right.
See, I knew that.
Right.
Okay? And I worked with him every summer. Every summer, he would come get me early in the morning. Man, we'd be out on the field 6:30 in the morning.
It's champions, baby. That's what champions do. That's what
Working.
champions
They'd be
do.
like, hey, this is what I want. And I appreciate Dr. Page for introducing me to Andy Rice. And that's what helped me a whole lot. That's why when I was going against Charles Fillion, that wasn't nothing.
Nothing.
I've been going against
The
Rice
pro.
all summer long.
You've been going against a pro.
You know, and he's been working with me and telling me what to look for and how to how to pin your hand up on the chest.
Right.
All those different things and how to do certain things. So I learned that. So Andy came back and gave back to me, you know, and that's why I always would come back and work with the guys.
So you have done that. That's my next question. So you have
Yes.
come back and worked with TSU offensive linemen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have come back and worked with them
Okay.
because that's who he gave to me.
Right.
You know, and that's right. When I went to Howard University, I knew I wanted to coach the offensive line.
Right. That's so great, man. Now, family, generally the guests will leave, but what we're gonna do now is he's already told me that he won't talk a little sports too, so we're gonna go over a little sports and he's gonna throw his nickels worth in there, just like I'm gonna throw my 2 cents worth in there. First thing we're gonna talk about is what do you think about Caitlin Clark, man? Out of a young lady that in March Madness family has just ended, and Caitlin Clark has just signed a contract with Nike, and we pulled it up a minute ago, and she signed it for $28 million. $28 million over 8 years. What you think about that?
Man, that is awesome. I think she brought a lot of attention to women basketball this year. About those 3-point shooting. You know, I followed her. I watched her play.
Right.
You know, and I was very impressed about what she was doing.
Right.
You know, to be that consistent, shooting threes out there. You know, the young man I think about that brought it to the NBA. You know, he
Steph.
played for Steph. He played for the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
Okay, so he brought that about, and I think Caitlin gonna do the same thing for the WNBA.
Yes. Yeah.
She's gonna bring that to them, and it's gonna be something else. But this is the other young lady that I watched from LSU.
Angel Reese. That was my
Angel
next
Reese.
list. She's doing $1.8 million already in college.
Yes. And, you know, I just like the way she played the game. I was thoroughly impressed with women basketball this year. You know, I've been watching them for a few years, okay? But, you know, because I'm a sports person.
Okay.
So I keep up with a lot of that stuff and the NBA. And the thing about it, I watch, you know, how people matriculate through the ball game.
I got you.
And how they do throughout their college career. Okay, and that's what Caitlin and Angel Reese, they really did. They did extremely well this year. And I think they're going to put women basketball on the map.
Yeah.
And they're going to do great things in the pros.
I agree with you on that. We're going to go to the NFL draft. It's today. Now, my thing is, as I used to tell my cousin, is that, man, the swag, it wasn't no matter of will anybody be drafted. It was like, how many going to come from this college? You know what I'm saying? And so what do you feel about how it took Coach Prime to get involved over the last few years, that he can't understand how out of 248, 68 players, how many get drafted, nobody came from SWAC institution. Do you think there may be anyone this year, or what's your opinion on them, how they look at the SWAC now?
Well, the SWAC is tough, okay? How they look at them is you're not in major college. They feel like you're not in major college, okay? But I would tell any young man, I wasn't in major college, okay? But that don't mean you can't make it, all right? It's what you have up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
And
it
in here.
overrules
And
everything.
And in here.
Everything, okay? If you want to make it to the next level, you'll make it to the next level, but you have to put your time and effort into it. You have to research it, know what it takes and what position you at to get there. I knew I had to be strong, okay? I never wanted nobody at Texas Southern to be stronger than me.
I got you.
Okay? When I left out of TSU, I was pretty strong. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I was one of the strongest guys there. But because I worked in the weight room a lot on my own, okay? Because I wanted to play at the next level.
Yeah.
Okay? I got up and ran early in the morning. Remember, a few minutes ago, I was telling you I was working with Andy Rice. I would get up and go run with him in the mornings.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay? We ran together. We worked out together in the weight room. It don't make a difference what kind of weights you got.
Right.
You can do more repetitions. You can build your strength.
Right.
If you want to.
If you want to.
You got to want it.
You got to want it.
I wanted a better situation for me. I wanted a better situation for my family.
I got you.
I wanted to, be honest with you, support my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to stop her from working, and I did. Mm-hmm. I stopped her from working. I said, you don't have to work no more. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Wonderful.
So I went as a free agent, but like I said before, I got the 8th round cut, the 3rd round cut, and the 5th round cut. I sent them home because I had it here and here.
Dedicated, man. You dedicated.
And so when you go against that, so you knew. And the guy say, you didn't get drafted? I say, no, I was a free agent. But it didn't make a difference to me because I knew one thing. I was going to outwork you and you wasn't going to be stronger than me. And I was going to make sure that I understand the game. I looked at film on my own. I studied film. I studied assignments and everything. It's what you put into it.
Yeah.
You don't have to, coming from an HBCU, it's all good. But it's man on man now.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's out there.
When it's out there, it's man on man.
Man on man.
How'd you choose the Redskins? Because free agents, you can go where you want to go. Did your agent tell you this was the best fit for you?
No, it was a guy named Bobby Bethel. Okay.
He's the
Now,
general manager.
Bobby Bethel was the general manager of the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
He left Miami and went to Washington. And Bobby saw me down there in Miami. And Bobby said, come to Washington. He said, you're going to be here.
What?
That's how I got to Washington.
Yeah. That's something. General manager told you to come.
He told me to come. He
come.
said, Fred. Because he told me, he saw me. He said, I know what type of player you are. He said, I want you to come to Washington. He said, be a part of our program. And so I left. Went to Washington.
And man, your story is so heartwarming. It's just, and that's every free agent, you know, because they don't get anything given to them. You have to go and work for what you got. And so the draft, I'm looking at, I'm thinking that the kid from Florida A&M should be going. The kid from Grambling should be going. And so, but we're going to see. We're going to see. But like you said, it doesn't mean the end of the world if you don't get drafted.
It doesn't.
Doesn't mean the end of the world. Baseball. Now, that's what I played at TSU. We're going to go to the Astros family right now. We ain't going to be on the Astros long because they're not doing a hell of a lot. And my opinion is they got so many pitchers hurt that it seems like every game, the second inning, they 5 or 6 runs down before they even get a chance to come in the
I looked
back.
at the Astros this year. They're not as strong. okay, as they have been in the past. And you have to deal with those injuries, okay? And this might be an off year for them, okay? You can't say they ain't not going to be good next year because guess what? They done been in a few World Series, all right, in the past, all right? So they got some of them, and you have injuries. And it happens in every sport.
Every sport.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with them injuries right now, and they might have a down year, and they look like they're going to have a down year this year, but I'm looking for them to be back next year.
Yeah, I am too.
I love the Astros.
I do too.
You know, so I want them to do well because I would say one thing. If the Astros doing well, we're doing well here in Houston. Now. You better know that.
Now, because the Astros, another thing my friend and I talked about is the Astros have been in almost like the World Series, if not the World Series, the championship series for the last 7 years. That's hard to do. Just like what I compliment you guys on, 3 Super Bowls in 5 years.
Yes.
That's hard to do. It hasn't been done since in Washington.
It hasn't been done since, and that's hard to do.
It's hard to do.
Because of how they paying the players today.
Right.
Okay, because, you know, you want your money.
Right.
You know, and the players going to leave.
Right.
You know, they have this thing called free agency. I tell people, watch March. That's when you start seeing a lot of players move. They move. You know, they want to get paid, and quite honestly, you should get paid now.
Right.
You know, the way they're doing things, you should get paid. If you're doing a certain thing, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
But that's just a part of sports right now.
Right. And I agree with you again. I mean, it's a hard road to toe, man. 7 years on the road, you're in the championship series or the World Series. You know how many teams would love to go to just one of those, and they're in there for the last 7 years. So I agree with you. It may be a down year, but that don't mean it's the end of the world.
No,
it don't mean it's the end
I'm
of the world.
still gonna love the Astros though.
For sure. We're gonna move right on, family, to the NBA. I got the Lakers and the Nuggets. The Lakers are down 0-2. We should at least won one. When I say we, y'all know I'm a diehard Laker fan. So, what do you think about that series? Who you got?
I love the Lakers, man. If you talking about you a diehard, I love LeBron James. I love what he does for the sports. They let one get away.
Let one get away.
They sure let one get away. But I have to give it to the Joker.
Yeah.
He's something else. And that
Special.
boy Jamal Murray,
That's the key right there.
he always play well in the playoffs. Jamal
That's
Murray
the
always
key.
play well in the playoffs. But that boy Joker something else.
Who you got?
But, well, Denver going to take that series.
What you got?
I want the Lakers to win.
I'm thinking we can win 2 games.
I hope the Lakers can win 3 games. I want them to go 7.
To go 7. I got you.
You know, I want the Lakers, if they can go 7, you never know what might happen in that 7th game.
Now, if they can go home and win just this game tonight, one more time, family, this is April 25th on a Thursday. The Lakers are playing the Nuggets tonight. I think if they can win tonight, they can win the 2nd game.
They need to win tonight.
Yeah, they got to win tonight.
They need to win tonight.
It's a must win
Now,
tonight.
you know role players play better at home.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm hoping that them boys play a whole lot better at home. And after they have another big game along with LeBron
Now,
and the role players.
D-Lo also.
Yes.
D-Lo also. Now, we got the Clips and the Mavs. They tied 1-1. Who you got with that one?
I think the Mavs going to win.
Okay, I got the Mavs on that too.
I got the Mavs going to win
If
on
Kawhi don't come off the injury
that.
list.
If he don't come off, I don't think they can pull it out without him.
Yeah. All right, we got the Suns and the T-Wolves, an up-and-coming young team versus the Suns. They are down 0-2 right now, the Suns. What you think?
I think the Suns will win the next game. But I don't know if they can win that series. Cause that young man up there in Minnesota,
Ooh,
he got some dog in him. Y'all hear what I say? Hey,
Anthony Edwards.
He got some dog. He can play and go bear. All of them up there. I mean, and Towns.
Yeah.
That's a good basketball team.
So you
know,
got the
you got to
T-Wolves.
play.
You got the T-Wolves.
I got the T-Wolves on that.
Okay, we got the Pelicans and OKC.
Them young boys OKC, they'll show me something. Them young boys can play.
Yeah, and with Zion being out, I got OKC
And with
too.
Zion hurt, man, he just has some bad luck.
Bad luck. I think the Pelicans might win 1.
They probably gonna win one if they don't fool around and get swept. The OKC ain't no joke.
I hear you. Got the Celtics and the Heat. Now the Heat showed me something of last night. No, night before last.
Celtics had an off game. That's what I'm gonna say. They had an off game. They're not gonna beat the Celtics.
No, I got the Celtics, but that's why I said the Heat showed me something.
Out.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, that hurt Heat.
That shocked me.
Yes.
The Heat won that game and without Jimmy Butler.
Without Jimmy. But you see that boy Tyler Hero hitting all them threes?
Yeah.
Boy, they hit like 20-some threes last night.
Who you got?
You know who I'm going with, the Celtics. I'm going with Celtics.
I'm going Celtics too. All right, the Pacers versus the Bucks. Giannis won't play until the next series if the Bucks can make it. And it's tied up 1-1. Who you going with?
I'm going to go with Indiana. I don't think the Bucks can pull it out. I know they got Damian Lillard. Bobby Porter's up and down.
Yeah.
Okay? And so when
I'm gonna
Giannis
tell you
been
who
out
the
whole
clue is.
series,
The clue to this game is the guy that had his knee hurt last year.
yeah, see, I know you're talking about.
Help us, Shaylin. Who was the guy that played with the Bucks and when they won the championship, he got hurt? Middleton.
Yeah.
Middleton. If Middleton come through, I'm going with the Bucks.
Okay.
I'm going with the Bucks. And you got the Pacers.
I got the Pacers.
All right. Sixers versus the Knicks. You talking about another game giveaway? The Sixers gave away 2.
I just hope Joel Embiid can play. If he can play, he's so hurt right now.
Right.
And you can see him limbering.
Right.
You know, and it's like, oh my gosh, at this particular time, he's trying to do the best he can.
You can never say anything about his heart anymore.
No more.
You can't say, because one while I was saying 2-3 years ago, he's just too lazy. They ain't going to never win nothing. But he's showing something this year.
Yes, he is.
And I think, just like the Lakers, if the Sixers can win tonight, I think they can be in it. Because they had New York on the ropes 2 times in New York.
Twice they had him on the ropes. You know.
So who you got?
I'm gonna go with New York.
You gonna go with the Knicks?
I just don't think Jalen Brunson hadn't played well.
Right.
He really
still ain't played.
He hadn't played well yet.
Yeah.
And you expect him to play well.
And with what's name being hurt, you kind of almost got to go with the Knicks. But
yes.
I'm thinking if the Sixers can win tonight, it's going to be tough. Might be 7. Cavs and the Magic. This is the easiest one for me. I'm going with the Cavs on this.
Yes. I'm going with Cleveland.
Magic. I don't think the Magic ready yet.
They're not ready yet.
I don't think they're ready yet. Okay, we're going to go on. We're going to go to a little HBCU sports right now. UAPB has lost their women basketball coach, Dawn Thornton, and she is going to go to Alabama A&M now. Her husband got picked up as the assistant football coach at Alabama A&M. So they got a double package coming in to Alabama.
That's a great package to have. You know?
They got a double package there, and she's a pretty good coach, UAPB. She actually coached at Prairie View for a year.
Oh, wow.
A couple of years at Prairie View, and then she went to UAPB. They beat 2 D1 schools, Arkansas and somebody else last year. So she's a good coach. Now, this coach at Jackson State, though, she's the lady that's tough. Now, I talk a lot about HBCUs, but I'm going to throw this in right quick before we get out of here. I like UH basketball also. And UH has 4 returning starters that have decided to come back. They're only going to lose the kid, the guard, Shed. They're only going to lose Jamal Shed. And they're getting the kid out of Oklahoma, Milos Uzan from Oklahoma, 6'4". And I don't know how much you follow basketball, but you know Master P's son is coming to the University of Houston.
Oh, they finna have a great program there.
Mercy Miller, about 6'6".
But you know, that coach at University of Houston is very good.
Very good.
I give him all the credit in the world.
Very good.
Hey, he know how to do some good recruiting.
Right. And a couple of more HBCU things before we get out of here. Talladega College, Kristen Johnson, the gymnast, she won the vault and the championship in the NAIA, U.S. Nationals. And she just signed for an NIA deal for doing that.
Oh, wow. That's
NIA
nice.
deal, NIL deal. Fisk University, also Morgan Price wins a national championship for overall in gymnasts. This is stuff that black colleges are just getting into. I think this might be the second year they're participating in it. That's why I say, if given the right opportunity and the proper training, our kids can do anything.
You're exactly right.
They can do anything. Now they're gymnast champions. And we got a brother, Roger Caruth, that went to Winston-Salem University, the first NASCAR win in Las Vegas.
Wow.
Now, I don't know about doing none of that, and his average speed was 177 miles an hour. That gave him the pole position. Can you imagine going around over 177 miles an hour?
That's getting it.
177 miles an hour.
On a consistent basis.
Yes, and so he won his first, and he went to Winston-Salem University. He won his first. And so with that being said, did you have everything that you want to say about the October the 4th that we can say? That's not, we can't give out any more information than what you know. But for now, let's go.
Just be on the lookout, for our TSU Tiger Family Reunion Hall of Fame.
And it's just the day before the homecoming?
It's going to be the day before homecoming.
Okay.
And we'll be getting back with you about the hotel and stuff that we're going to have that at.
Okay. And family, one last thing I promise we're going this time. Texas Southern is getting ready to induct 24 former student athletes and coaches and contributors from various sports. Since 1996, they're getting ready to get 24 new players into the Hall of Fame. And I think my guess, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be one of them. Is that correct?
No, I'm not one of them this year. But I was in the top 100, though.
I hear you.
I was in the top 100, but, it's good for the guys that's in there.
Oh, it's got it.
And I'm glad for some of the young men.
I am too.
Young ladies that's going to be into the Hall of Fame.
Being an athlete, we know what they go through.
We've been needing this.
We
way behind in that, and I'm so glad that we got 24 inductees.
24. Let me give off a few of the names right quick. Coach Dave Bethany, head track coach, 46 WAC championships. How? He needs to be in the National Hall of Fame.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you said 46.
46
I
WAC
knew he
championships.
was a great coach when I was there.
Yes, when I was there.
So everybody respected Dave Bethany.
Now, people get mad at me sometimes because they've watched my show in the past and I talked about the track, last TSU's track, not this one this year, but last year TSU Relays, where it used to be at Happening.
Yes.
When we was at Texas Southern,
Yes,
the TSU
was.
Relays was a happening.
Yes,
were you there when it was at Jefferson Stadium, ever at Jefferson Stadium?
Yes.
Man, I'm talking about that whole side of that stadium was filled. They would have a concert the night before.
Yes.
It was off the hook.
I was a part of that, yes.
Yes, and so I had started saying, they ain't the Flying Tigers no more. Because the Flying Tigers, they had D1s scared to death of them. Yes. Scared. They did not want to see the Flying Tigers at that track meet. UT Relays.
You just look at all the people that went to the Olympics from Texas Southern track team.
Right. And so track was one of the things. And then we had a guy that Donovan Campbell of baseball, which is what I paid, got drafted by Atlanta Braves. Sonia Dixon, a 3-sport person. I'm trying to get a few of the Clyde E. Duncan, our current coach. And one more time, it's not to talk about Coach Duncan. And Coach Duncan, I'm sure, is doing the best he can do.
Right.
Because there's all type of factors involved nowadays. Ain't like it was back in the day. They got NIL. Yes. They play track people money now, too. And
they're paying everybody.
Everybody. Did you know Tommy Ford from Florida that ran track at Texas Southern? Mm-hmm. He would be a millionaire if he was running track now. Sure that boy ran like 3 events and was the best at it for 4 years. Hall of Famer Willie Ellison. You have all type of people that's going to be inducted into the Texas Southern Hall of Fame. Michael Strahan is going to be one of the inductees. And everybody knows who Michael Strahan is. He's going to be one of the inductees into the Sports Hall of Fame. Along with Kevin Granger, who is the athletic director currently at Texas Southern University. And so what I want to do is I want to thank this gentleman for taking time out of his busy day and coming on here. We could talk forever, but forever costs a little bit more than for a regular period. And so I'm sure my cameraman not going to say, well, no, just go ahead. Y'all go and talk for the next 2 hours, man. He's going to try to break the bank if I do that. So, but anyway, I want to thank everybody for showing and watching the show. Make sure you pass the word about this show because this is something special. We got a NFL guy that played on 3 Super Bowl teams out of 5 years. And I want to hand him his flowers on TV right now. And I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, man. And we're going to have you again.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Family, with that being said, please hit that like button, that share button, share it with some family and friends. Hit that notification bell so that you can be told about every show coming out. Until the next time, peace out.
Peace.